This week's track preview is brought to you by the MX Bike Shop. Ride the officially licensed replicas created by KTW Studios and BC Creative, and even compete in the virtual Triple Crown Championship by logging on to the mxbikeshop.com website. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be playing what, in my opinion, is a bit of an iconic track. As somebody who lives in the UK, there's no reason for me to think that it's iconic, other than the fact that it has that one certain massive double that a certain Jimmy Dakota decided to do on a 125 a while back, let's say. I would like to wager, I think a good at least 50% of the people watching this video right now have all seen that video. He doesn't go off the start, there's something wrong with the bike, gets it going again, gets going, and we have the double right here that he was hitting absolutely wide open on a 125 from takeoff to landing, my apologies. And it's one of them videos that you just, as a motocross fan, you just have to watch. It's very, very impressive and really fun. I'm excited to give this a go in game as well to see how it goes. I will not be riding a 125 today, however. Sorry to let you boys down. What I will be riding, I don't know whereabouts we spawn in over here, but I am going to be on the RM450. So an actual Suzuki, not a model swap, just standard OEM Suzuki bike. Because there's a little part of me that wants to rock up to Washougal tomorrow for the live stream at Aerial on it. So we're going to see how that rides, a little bit of a tester today, and hopefully this track will be just as fun, if not even more fun than the last round of the Triple Crown series that we had. I think this layout of track lends itself more, with the elevation changes and stuff, to be a little bit more exciting as well, and I enjoyed the last track a hell of a lot with how the ruts and bumps were built, so I believe that will probably carry over onto this one as well. I always like taking a second on these kind of tracks to just appreciate the environment building as well. If you've ever had the luxury to ride at Deschambault before in your life, let me know. These kind of buildings that you see dotted around, how true are they to life in terms of their placement? I am about to run through a family of 4 though, so apologies for that. Gamers, doing my best Jalik swole at Hangtown performance. So the start straight is going to lead us onto the track right about here. And we are going to test the waters a little bit and see how it goes. Now, I don't believe this track layout has changed much from that Jimmy Dakota's video that I remember watching years ago. So I'm hoping that just by pure muscle memory alone, that I'll be able to navigate my way around this track fairly successfully. And straight away, I've done, what is it, 2 straights so far? I can already tell you that the base level of roughness around here is right up my alley. I love tracks that are just rough even on the straights. Just makes you have to think about everything a whole lot more. You've got to get your suspension dialed, which I don't have on this bike. That is probably something that I should look into a little bit before tomorrow's competition, because I might be in Struggleville. I'm already going to be putting myself at a bit of disadvantage riding not the slowest. I don't think the Suzuki's the slowest bike. I think the Kawi actually falls under that one in terms of the 450s in here. But definitely one of the slower ones. Hasn't got quite as much oomph as like the Yamaha or the Fantic does, for example. And, you know, with like Horsepower Hill or Washougal, that's going to be a bit of a struggle as well. But we'll try and just make the most fun out of it that we possibly can do. I mean, last year at Washougal, if you remember, granted it was before everybody got hella cracked out of their minds at the game, but managed to get a Moto1 win on the 252 stroke against everybody on 450s, which is probably the highlight of my career, to be completely honest. So let's see how this all rides and how it goes. If my memory serves me right, there's some parts of this track that are fairly loamy in real life, and by the sound of the soil underneath my wheels right now, it looks like they've gone for a soft soil traction. So for anybody that has issues with the grip and things like that, do not fear. We are still on the grippiest of tractions around here. Let's work our way up and over these bumps. And same as last week's track as well. If you are more of a beginner to intermediate rider on the game, you haven't wasted thousands of hours of your life plugging away virtual laps on the game, then there is an AMS version. So this is the Pro version I'm on right now. The AMS version I imagine will be a lot easier to do. That double, I mean, for the Suzuki 450, that was about perfect. And I think I hit the corner before it pretty well. I can't imagine being able to do that on a 125. So again, I mean, round of applause. Round of applause to Mr. Jimmy D. Although, let's be honest, if you want to chuck someone on a 125, he's probably the man for it. We'll remember watching the old Honda 125 videos from back in the day as well. It's like a rite of passage as a motocross fan. You kind of have to end up watching them. I'm trying to memorize where this goes, because there's a lot of like switchbacks, you know, a lot of like right 180 into a left 180 into a right 180. Just need to remember where it goes. Did not WOD myself that time, which is lovely stuff. And again, with all three of the tracks that we're going to be having in this Triple Crown series, it is B Clay on the height map, and then it is a combination of Kells and Question, to the best of my knowledge, doing environment and texturing as well, quite possibly. So we'll give this a go. And you will also notice that we are double uploading today. That is because me and my absolute peanut brain, I completely forgot that a week had passed since the last one of these that I had done. And these videos are essentially preview videos for the actual race series. That was Discord, I apologise. That happens so many times, and so many people go to check their Discord until I say it was mine. So dude, have no fear. You are not popular right now. It was just my Discord popping off. I usually have stream mode on. I don't know why it's turned off right now. Yeah, head over to my MXB to try and find the race series as well. And then the track itself should be up on the MX Bike shop at some point today. If there's any people that usually like watching these videos to, I guess, virtually grind hot laps in their head to try and work out where the lines are, I apologise that you're only going to have a couple of hours to do it rather than the full day. That is, I dropped the ball on that one. I'll be completely honest. I think it's because where I've been, I'm in pretty much an American sleep cycle for me right now. Like, I don't go to sleep until about 4 AM my time, then I wake up at about midday. So I'm not kind of, I've been going to the gym, which I don't do very often. You know me, I do it in waves. I either go 6 days a week for 2 months, and then I don't go for the next 6 months after that. But I'm back into that phase again of doing that, and I'm one of the people, I can only really focus on one thing at a time, so I was more concerned about going and getting that done. Then I came home, and obviously late last night recorded that spectating MX Bikes at 3 AM video, completely forgetting that today is Thursday, and it's the Triple Crown day. But hopefully the Triple Crown boys can forgive me, as again, I do have just a small amount of YouTuber privilege in being able to have these tracks a little bit early and play them and display them all to the best of my ability for you guys. Let's try an outside around here. It's one thing I was a big fan of on last week's track is, even though the actual, let's say, track layout was on the simpler side, not really much in terms of elevation change, the ruts in the corners, majority of them all did seem to lend themselves to being viable lines. And again, it's just that typical thing of you want to have a rougher inside compared to a smoother outside, but without the size of the ruts being so overwhelming you can just hit them wide open. And right now there's a combination of bumps around this track that some you can hit pinned, and others you just got to take your time with a little bit and tiptoe your way through. I've messed up this section the last 2 laps. Let's just go around this roller for now. Try and stand up around the outside. Right now, the Suzuki, I mean, base Suzuki suspension actually feels pretty damn good, I'll be honest. It's one of the best handling bikes straight out of the box that comes in the OEM pack. It's not like a TM 450, for example, where you have to do some sort of like chemistry in a lab to try and find the concoction that makes the bike go around the track the way you want it to. Nothing like the TM250 at all. TM250 is a bit of a rocket and goes where you want it to go. But yeah, the Suzuki 450, probably one of the best base bikes for handling and stock suspension combined. But of course you can always make it a little bit better, so I have to do probably a little bit of tinkering before Friday's race. But right now it seems to be working its way over the bumps fairly straightforward. As long as you keep just a little bit of throttle on, don't try and jam the sticks to the side too quickly, you give it a little bit of time, let the bike settle in the turns. And right now at least, whilst we haven't got insane amounts of erode like we would do in actual races, the front end feels pretty damn planted as well, and I'm enjoying it so far. In terms of a replication, in terms of it being a replica track, granted it's been a couple of years since I watched that Jimmy D video, but it feels really, really good. Like, it feels like it flows as well. You can hit an inside or you can hit an outside, and then you can carry your momentum on the exit. On the 450 here, we can get a little bit steezy over the big old double. I imagine on the 250, it might be a bit more of a stretch, and then on a 125, I think you're going to have to try and hit it perfect. But there will be people out there that are able to do it. I have faith. I believe in you. And I've jumped to the outside there on that corner every single lap so far, which I apologise for. Let's try tight inside here. It's nice because on these insides, you usually get about 4 or so braking bumps going into these tight inside corners. And it's nice to basically skim the first 2 and then almost, yeah, again, channel your inner jet or chase and double the last two into the corner, like there. Skim the first one, then double the last two. And it just, if you can sit down in the air and get the bike partially then over in the air as well before you even hit the rut, it just sets you up for the corner so much nicer, and it feels a lot nicer as well. You feel like you're a little bit handy at the game for a split second until then you get a little bit too confident, try going too fast, and end up wadding yourself after that. Do we step down the hill here? Can you... I wonder... Hang on, my racer brain is tingling. I wonder if you come down this hill and you hit this little roller here hard enough, I wonder if you can jump over that inside hump there. Let's go and have a quick test of that, just to see if it's doable. Here's getting some race lines. I'm going to set a track mark there just so we can have 1 or 2 different attempts at it. You step down, hit that. Oh, I think there is a world where that's possible. Just find the right line. Maybe even going inside here, because then you can roll down this, take off one of the ruts. There we go. That was it. Exactly that. So if you're on a Yamaha 450, for example, then you'll have a little bit more oomph than the Suzuki does to be able to get over that as well. So very, very doable line there. Watch out for that if people are looking for their hot laps for qualifying for this. Nice little sneaky one there. You are very welcome. I love finding just quote-unquote hot lines on tracks. It makes it so much more enjoyable. And it's nice that you even have the freedom to do so. It's not like... I mean, on 99.5% of the tracks in the game, that... Well, 99.5% of track raters, that jump there that I had to take off of wouldn't even have ruts on the face of it anyway. It'd be a completely smooth jump, which actually I don't think would make that jump possible. It's the technique of basically taking off while turning slightly so you hit the side of the rut, which gives you more airtime. So there's a little bit of a knack to it. Again, the AMS version might not have a rutted face at all. It might be completely smooth. But on the Pro version, love it. That's why I really enjoy tracks like this that have a bit of character to it as well, and they are technical. They do allow you to move around on the track a bit, try and find some creative lines, have a bit of freedom. Much nicer than everyone filtering to the far outside and railing it wide open. I love stuff like this. And in terms of favourite track creators, especially over the last year, I think B-Clay has got to be very, very, very close to the top, if not at the top for a lot of people. Combining the GP series that we had with now the terrain of these tracks as well, as far as a racetrack goes, I think he probably does the best job out of everyone so far. Because there's a few, there's different things to tracks, isn't there? You've got the actual track itself, so what your wheels are touching, the dirt. You've then got the texture inside of things, and you've then got the environment / scenery building as well. And it does seem that the best jobs these days are collaborative efforts, because it takes such a long time to make tracks in this game. It's not an easy feat whatsoever. If you've never built a track before, and you can sometimes be overly critical of the tracks people make, then please go and give it a go yourself. It'll be a very, very humbling experience. It takes a lot of people months to make their first track and have it be somewhat decent and rideable. So it's definitely a talent. It is a technique, and there's a level of, I would say, artistry to it as well then when it comes to the environment and texturing. Now I know B-Clay's only done the terrain of this, I believe, and then he's had help from the other boys, but when you get multiple talented, let's just say artists at this point, involved in the same project, you're always going to have a positive outcome to it. And this track and last week's track are no different, to be honest. Now I don't actually know where round 3 is. I'll have to do a little bit of research when I finish recording this to see where it is, because I haven't been sent round 3 yet. I'm guessing it's still in the oven, it's still cooking. They are chefing up a storm over there in the kitchen. But again, if it's anything like these, it'll be very, very fun. I want to try and step from that high left side and then downside that roller on the right. So I imagine if I take off from this side here, yeah, you don't quite get enough height, and then you end up coming into the corner a little bit too fast. Alternatively, that outside there is built up really, really high. So if you want to just try and slingshot around the outside of someone, you can do so. I think the move here is to hit here, jump over, a little bit of back brake, try and transfer, and then hit that inside. I came up a little bit short there, which didn't allow me to hit on the brakes hard enough because I was bouncing. But if we try and hit that again, let me set another track marker just in case. We send it a little bit further. Oh, almost. That very, very doable. You know, I'm actually intrigued to see if any of the, let's say, top 1% of players in this game, if they're competing in this series, I would love to see a full-on hot lap around this track, like all of the fast lines. You've got that double over the roller earlier in the lap, you've got that little jump from left to right there that I just done. I think it's going to be a really impressive lap that ends up topping the qualifying for this series all in all. And then overall, it's just a really flowy track, like very, very enjoyable. And I would probably say my favourite of the two that we've had so far. Like, it's really, really good fun. And definitely give it a go if you are able to. And if you are bored on a Thursday night, where, I mean, what time? I think it's like something like 11 PM for me. But it would be unfair if I competed anyway. If you're from Europe, if you're from the US, I think you're all eligible to be able to race this series and give it a go if you've got nothing else to do on a Thursday. Maybe you want to get warm ahead of Aerial on Friday nights. So yeah, go onto MyMXB, go onto the MX Bike shop, have a little look at what you need and get involved in it. It's a very, very good job these boys have done. And I said it last week in last week's track video. I'll say it again this week. I love that there are real-world motocross branding / sponsorships getting involved in video games. I think it's so, so cool. And will do nothing but push the scene further forwards, which I think we will all mutually benefit from. So to everyone involved in making this track, thank you very, very much. Thank you for letting me be the person to show it off, and I apologise that the video is a bit later today than it was last week. I completely had a brain fart and forgot that it was Thursday. But that is from my very, very poor sleeping schedule. So I hope you will all forgive me, and I will try and set a reminder on my phone for next week, Thursday, for it to be uploaded at the relevant time. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do drop a like, subscribe to me if you are new, all of that lovely YouTube stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.